Good afternoon. Today I'm going to give you an example of how and why we make use of Turnitin. So I'm going to use a paper that was submitted to Dr. Wilson for his ethics class, and this paper is going to be put through the process of Turnitin. Here is the paper. Now, if we scroll through the paper, we see that the author has included one hyperlink and no references. The professor has asked whether this paper has any references that are not properly cited. So the professor has submitted this to Turnitin. The submission process has already been completed, and now we're going to go to the professor's class. We'll see the paper. It's titled Anybody, and the title of the paper is Dying. And then it has not yet been graded. Now, if we click on this to open it, it's going to direct us to another window where we can look at the grade mark that the instructor can give. Under that marking, you'll see these purple indicators for grammar and spelling errors and such through the paper. But we're interested in finding out about the originality. So from grade mark, I'm going to toggle over to originality. And once I click that, what we discover is that the paper has a high percentage of citations from outside sources. You can see that source number one has 68% of the paper. And you can say that source number two has 14% of the paper. What does that mean? Well, let's take a closer look at the paper and see. So I'm going to expand this so we can see a bit better. This sentence, can you even imagine teaching medical students how to end their patients' lives? And then the following quote, if one accepts the definition of humanism, and so on. These lines come directly from a source called the Permanent Journal. And in fact, you can find it on the internet. And using Turnitin, you can see where the teacher or the student got it. Now, what's the problem? After all, we want good writing. Well, very simply, the problem is that with this high match and with no citation, the teacher, poor teacher, is led to believe that this is the writings of the person that submitted it to the teacher. However, it's not the case. In fact, it came from this source. So, at this point, the instructor learning these things has to make a decision. Should the teacher simply grade this as a 0 and leave it at that? Or should the teacher return the paper to the student? Well, for our purposes, we can't answer that. We can only show you what's going on and inform you of the problem. The actual problem must be resolved between the teacher and the student, and it may involve honor codes of the school. I hope this brief information session helps you understand what's called the originality mark in Turnitin, and how a teacher may submit a paper to Turnitin to find out if in fact it is from that source, that is the internet. Thank you. Have a good day.